Hey! Who says I'm not a falconer? Me and this owl, we killed a massive toadstool just a few days ago. Kind of thinking, well, you know I waffle on these videos, I don't do any thinking, do I? Kind of thinking, how do we start and open this video? Oh, really, just fuck me. That went really well, didn't it? Oh my gosh. What was the best bit? Oh, I'm gonna cry again. My little granddaughter running up to me after a display. I didn't know she was there. Magic. But second best magical moment, just at 11 o'clock Saturday morning, not only had the sun been shining all the time, it was a repeat of last year. Hideous weather, hideous forecast. Saturday, perfect weather for the event. And 11 o'clock, I thought, I'm going to wander up through the Falconry Centre in the gardens, wander up to the ticket office, see if there's anyone there. And literally, I took 2 steps. I was right at the far end of the Falconry Centre, and it was like just a steady train of people surging into the Falconry Centre. And as I walked out, coming through the avenue, I walked to see if the office was okay anyway. And it was like a long, steady surge of people coming towards me, all excitedly looking round, chitter chatter. All right, Dave, absolutely magical. So, falconry, you know, if you follow the channel, I'm gonna have a tough one this year. No one's gonna fly Zeus for me here. I don't trust him to just anyone. So I'm gonna start late. We'll do something with him from November onwards. But as promised, my falconry this year is going to be vicarious. I've had so many invites come through from that weekend. Can't wait to get out with some big names in falconry with falcons, partridge hawking, proper falconry, I guess, the sort of thing we can't practice here in Northamptonshire. We don't have the right terrain for waiting on style flights and that kind of thing. So I'm really looking forward to some of that. I'm going to get out with the Eagle boys, of course, and you're all going to see what we can see on the channel. But for now, it's got to be all about the falconer gathering. You smashed it out the park. Brilliant turnout. Happy people. So many people said, God, the people that didn't come last year and didn't know what the gathering was about, they didn't know it was going to be as good as it was, you know. And they said, oh, the old timers like me, just reminds us like the old days of the original falconry fairs where it was just people looking at stalls again, trying on kit and camaraderie. We're all falconers together, no bitching. Well, not that I heard anyway. And it was just magical. I guess there's a few negatives, but so tiny. I'll bring you those later in the video. Just tiny things, and I want some of your advice for FG 3.0. Will there be one? Who knows? I've got to talk with the Holdenby team and talk to you guys if you want such a thing. No point putting stuff out repetitively. And of course, there were changes this year. Same format, but changes. We don't want it to stale. Unlike last year when I thought we should stop while we're ahead, seriously, had big discussions about whether to do a 2.0, thinking, let's just say we did it, it was amazing, the community loved it, let's stop it there and say that was something we did once and it was great. Yeah, I got talked into it and we did it and it was great again, but we don't want it to be just samey, you know, we've got to keep changing it. There's a caveat to all of you that came, I want to talk about later in the video. I need your advice. There is a little bit of striking while the iron's hot to sort of get some roughing out in place if we are doing another one, and then we can just forget about the whole damn thing for a few months and enjoy some proper falconry. Might see you at Vowley, but that's another story again about something I want to talk about. Is us all guys sticking together. We've got to stop this bitching in Falconry. We're under too much pressure. We don't need to be on each other's cases. We need to be united, but that's another story. But for now, I said all along, it's really hard to say thank you to everybody, and just forgetting afar, just outside of my circle, immediate circle. We've got the whole Holdenby team. Most instrumental was Kerry, that from your point of view, you spoke to her, you booked things through her. Kerry in the Holdenby office, massively instrumental to the Falconer gathering. But don't forget, it all took place in someone's garden, and they were in. I said it on Sunday, I think, I wouldn't want you all invading my garden. So big thank you to Mr. and Mrs. Lowther and Jem Lowther for basically letting us do this in their garden, you know, by their front door and their back door, right outside their house, in fact, when we're talking about the flying displays. So massive thank you to the Lowthers, who's hosted us at the end of the day. Again, I've got to say a massive thank you to the wide Icarus team. Last year it was Dave who did this well, and I had to really sort of forcefully say to everyone, it's a team effort. I'm just a catalyst. This year, you kind of got that. So at least I got Weldon, Dave, and the team. This is what I mean by sort of a, I don't know what you're watching, we're not hunting yet. As a catalyst, yes, you need someone to organise it, to have the brainchild, a bit OCD. I really loved how the shopping village looked. Did you? I loved it. That's how I had it in my mind's eye for the first one. We got it in the second one. It just looked great. I wanted to go and spend money there. It looked that good, and the stands looked that good. But when it comes to a thank you, my team, Icarus, the Icarus team, is so wide-ranging. There's so much that goes on that I kind of forget about. It's the layers. It is like an onion. I'm sorry to coin Shrek. It is like an onion. If I'm in the middle or on the outside, there's layers of helpers, and these people do it for nothing but love. They range from up and coming wannabe falconers, people that are here to train and learn hunting falconry, like Jack. Bless him, he had his own story going on Saturday involving trees and red-tailed hawks. He should have been here. He wanted to be here and see you all. Yeah, that's what happens as you're learning. You make what I might think is that was a silly mistake, and you learn from them. The most important thing is the red tail was back in the mews Saturday evening. He was exhausted but exhilarated, and Jack had learned an awful lot about falconry, flying a bird in its second year. So all good. So we're going from that level, people that want to come here to learn, and they give up their time as payment, if you like. Jack learns from the staff here, he learns from me, he learns himself, but he does an awful lot for us technically. He does, do you know what, Jack does everything from web design to mowing the lawns, everything, like everyone does. They just do anything. And then you've got people like Mr. Stiff and his wife, and that is his name. I will say to him, can you imagine that when you were younger in the nightclubs? Hi, my name's Stiffy. Stiffy by name, Stiffy by nature, but it is his name. Stiffy, brilliant. Anyway, those guys come here just for the love of it. He built a tortoise house this summer, an insulated, heated tortoise house for my giant tortoises. He's got no interest in falconry. He loves the birds. He likes to come out and fly them with Ursula and Emily now and again. He's not here for that. You've got Roy, Sue and Jess, our gardening team, the trio, that they make the grounds and gardens look nice. They get it round. I've said all along, I can't stand the sterility of the place we took over. I want it to look green and lush, and that's what they're working towards. Slowly every year, the place is getting more green, more lush. We've got wildlife meadows and bee borders and butterfly borders. So they're in charge of that. They love seeing the birds and coming out of them. I don't want to be falconers. So it's such a range of team. But Tommy, you know, he sits on a bloody great mower for a living and strims and does council grass work and Silverstone and stadiums and things. Hard grafting day's work. He turns up after hours, starts chopping down, well, not chopping down the trees, we get in big trouble for that, and taking the lower limbs off some of the trees that are in the way of the gazebos, mowing off the meadow with a massive mower, way bigger than the one mine is, get the job done. I'm naming names and I want to stop because I just can't name names because there's too many and I will forget someone. And I've said that on social media. I want to go through, I even wanted to put credits at the end of this video of everyone that has made the gathering work for you. I'm just not going to. this is me. We once had a Christmas do at Icarus Falconry for everyone, and I forgot one of the volunteers. Didn't invite them. They never came. Can you imagine how bad you would feel if you did that? So I'm not going to name names, but just know a passionate workforce of volunteer help made this place look beautiful, quaint, clean, tidy and special for the gathering, to be the place for the Falconer gathering. So I've waffled on at least 100 times longer than I meant to at the intro. I just want you to know, yeah, I'm proud of them, and I'm really proud of you guys, the Falconry community, for making it work and making it the beautiful, friendly, positive thing that it was 2.0. I'll come back in a minute, but just enjoy some of the videos, the pictures that I've dragged in off social media. Yes, Gary Bidis flew the most amazing purlin for us, guest for nothing, as a helper, for free, voluntary, for you. He came and flew a bird for us that was really good, and he had the best roly-poly lure swinging save that I've seen in a long time. It tops me wrapping a lure line around my neck and having a laneret land on my back between my shoulder blades. What a brilliant stuntman he is, and what a brilliant save he made. So you saw it at the beginning of this video, and I'm sure we're going to feature it somewhere in the next bit. Just enjoy these lovely images people have sent me. Some of them, they don't know they're on here and they haven't been credited because I'm rubbish with names. Guys, thank you for sending us all this lovely footage. I'll be back in a bit. Here at Icarus Falconry, the 13th and 14th of September, Saturday and Sunday. Right now, the sun is here, and from 11 o'clock in the morning, Saturday and Sunday, you need to be here if you're a falconer or you've got any interest in birds of prey and raptors. We're over. Right guys, let me just have a quick show around. People are here already. If you're not here, hopefully you're in the queue. Hey! Just come and have a look at the trade stands. They look magnificent. The most beautiful martini drinking people here. Well, not him. Have a look. Whoa, look at all this stuff. Bring your money and spend your money here. Stock up on your falconry stuff for this season. It's all going on. It's all going on. What a setup. Craftsmen and women, actual real life clubs. Come and talk to these guys. Come and talk to people. If you're thinking about buying telemetry kit, talk to the people. For goodness sakes, they will give you biased advice, but true, real advice. Come and try stuff on. Look at this artwork. If you're not here and you're a falconer or you're interested in birds of prey, you're an idiot. Wow! Boo! Nice. Oh, wow!
Hey! And it's on film! Do you feel like a skylark? Brilliant.
Day, sitting with Xavier's from Microsensory's Game Hawks, pucker proper Game Hawks, literally fresh down here from Scotland. He's been flying for weeks. He's come down for the Falconer gathering with Microsensory. The real McCoy, guys. Wow, fancy being in a position to do that kind of falconry up on the grouse moors with falcons. Brilliant. Anyway, it's a wrap. FG 2.0 day one. The weather has been perfect, like literally perfect for what we want to do. Flying birds and happy people. We're just winding down. The boys here helping tidy away, just a finer detail. We're back for day two, FG 2.0. The sky is grey, the sun has just gone in. Forecast is good, rain only later on, maybe the odd spit. Countrymen and women, bring a coat and some boots. We're here at Holdenby House, Northampton, Icarus Falconry. Gates have just opened and we've already got people coming in. How fantastic. Don't miss it, guys. It's another year before we do this again. Lots to see. See the Facebook group. Itinerary of talks on flying. That little purling's going to be dynamite again today. Really good. On a phone like she always is. Really good little village. Don't miss it. So much going on. Falconer Gathering 2.0.
Yeah, let's come in.
Essentially a styrofoam, for lack of a better phrase, which has got an engine, completely different to obviously stooping the Falcon to a lure, which is all very central and grounded around you. This is to kind of replicate a natural hunting style, but with full control. You are in control of the prey, meaning that doing demonstrations and actually exercising your Falcon is really predictable. That's in the Falconer already. Hook comes off, Falcon straight away, you can see it knows exactly what that road throw is, and away we go. Straight off the fist, wings going like the clappers, and it's going to try and get as close as it possibly can to that road throw. Now the idea of the pilot here is to stay above. As we saw with the grey buzzard eagle and the crow or the rook or whatever it was earlier, it always wants to be above. Being below is dangerous, so staying above is the best option. And the rope will try and climb into the wind, as it's the easiest way for the better phrase by the rope, but also allows us to do racing as well. Which means leaving the fist, heading up to 120 meters in the sky, and that's the bird, not the rope crow. Once it hits, look at that like that, and you can see you get the absolutely breathtaking wings tucked behind his back. Look at that! Is that once you've got some skilled falcons and you've got some skilled pilots, you can get that. Teardrop suits, every single there, which is speed. I know at the British Falcon races, we've had birds coming in at over 120 miles an hour. Full teardrop suits, kind of hairs on the back of your neck standing up kind of thing. Really, really exciting stuff. And as I was saying with the racing, it wouldn't end quite so to speak. You get the bird up to 120 metres, and a horn. Next Falcon ready, as I said, this is beef jerkin. So we're going to do the whole thing again for you, and see how this little falcon does. And we're very lucky to have these falcons here, as we said. The falcon racing being only next week. You have to leave, you have to actually set off. As you can see, he's pretending not to be. I'll have to go for it. So he's going to give us a bit of a...
Anyway, here he comes. Come on. Hold your nerve. We'll go for that, surely, Emily. Give her a round of applause. Well, here we are. What a weekend, guys. Brilliant weather Saturday, great weather Sunday compared to the forecast. They said it was going to start raining at 3 o'clock, kind of started about 2:30. All the birds that were flying flew. As always, well, the purling was great, I have to say. Our birds were good, but the row crow team added the excitement for everyone. Public, what a great tool that row crow is. If you want to put an exciting display of predator and prey, a mock display, of course, but yeah, it does go down well. Thanks to the guys flying them and the pilot, exceptionally good. But here we are, we've got, everyone's got drenched to the skin, packing away. But of course, the rain came in at a time when it didn't stop playing.
He's got the barometric. Yeah, you're used to those. You get that up. You've seen him a million times. Practically yours.
Let me do it. Go on.
Jupe is monster.
Get it back over this way so we can see. Have a look at it, please. Come in over here. Thanks, keep an eye on it, please. Oh! Is this who's best road flyer? Zimbabwe is best road flyer. Are there many Falcon road flyers in Zimbabwe? No, you're the only one. Yeah, I thought that might be the case.
But I crash better than all of them.
I can believe that. And so we've got the next Falcon ready. As I said, this is beef jerkin. So we're going to do the whole thing again for you and see how this little Falcon does. We're very lucky to have these Falcons here, as they said. The Falcon racing being only next week. You have to leave. You have to actually set off. With the races only being next weekend, it means these birds should be fairly match fit. Although I think I'm right in saying Kinder Surprise has had a longer moult than was expected, and has actually, the bird you just saw flying and stooping has actually only been out and flying for about a week, which is incredible really. I mean, the fitness you can build from chasing road prey every single day is phenomenal. That bird literally has only been back in the air for about 7 days. Now this one looking not quite as committed to the road crow as it potentially could be, but then this is something you get with the older birds. The younger birds tend to just fly blindly. They look at the backside of the road crow and they just go absolutely hell for leather to try and catch it. With the older birds, they tend to try and employ some tactics. And again, when you're stooping falcons to allure, flying birds on demonstration, or hunting with them, any of you do that either part-time or for a living, will know that they will use their brain to try and get the easiest option. And so what older falcons like this sometimes do is pretend they're not interested. If they wander off and head over the trees or head over the house and say, oh no, I'm not interested in that style of anything, what pilots do is they panic and they bring the plane to the falcon. Again, same as stooping a falcon to a lure. If you pretend they're not interested, when they come back, you tend to give it them. One thing to do, so Dylan's done the right thing here, he's carried on. Is that, no, if you're not interested in me, I'm not interested in you. And you see the falcon soon changes their mind and realises they're not going to be able to take them for a ride. So he's catching up, and he's really turning on the afterburners. You can see he's pretending not to be interested, and when he realised that game wasn't going to work, he's I'll have to go for it. So he's going to give us a bit of a show. Look at him go! So, oh, he's been caught. This side of the trees, please. And down on the ground. Give him a round of applause. And we're sure giving him a round of applause. You might just bring that very close to me. But you can see, it was after. He is definitely interested in continues to fly. Even in the weather that would not normally be ideal, kind of looking around and soaring around this kind of slightly soggy, damp air. The road crow has no problems at all cutting through it, and a nice fit fault actually having problems too. Coming in over the top of the birds of prey and round over the top of the house, you can see the falcon has got a slight advantage there in terms of height, but isn't able to close that gap, and the road crow just dropping in front of him. And what we're doing by staying over the top of the falcon all the time, we're constantly trying to get that bird up. 120 metres is critical. Nothing can happen in hunt racing until that 120 metres has been reached. Now we might not reach that today. That's not important. We're not racing today. We're just showing off. So hopefully we're filming that. Some really good flying. It's pretty close. So we'll have another bird that's got a bit of experience. Quite often at the races, the birds that have only hatched this year are flown and put to the test, and often do surprisingly well, considering it is they're only been on the planet for kind of 6 months maybe. But the older birds do tend to do well as well, and often it's that expertise that they gain over the years of doing this over and over again. Some of the best flight. Right, we're going to go for this. looking up into the range to the 50. All of it can be done out on the field. Okie dokie, very good. Right, looks like we're ready. Put off and hawk away. Now you can see straight away he's considerably smaller than the rest, and you would potentially think that the Rocco being as big as it is might be quite daunting for a little tinsel peregrine like Tess here, but again, not the case. Once trained to them, again, which happens really quickly and really easily, even the really small birds takes them really well. You've seen New Zealand falcons flown to them, we've seen tinsel peregrines, I have seen kestrels, American kestrels flown to them, but I think that's pushing it slightly too far. But you can see it's not put off by its size at all, and if you're a semi-decent pilot, having the Falcon come in and catch the Rocco shouldn't be too daunting for them at all. You should be able to really assist them and help them and really slowly help to build their confidence over time, so they get used to chasing these massive style beasts along the side. Now Henry did tell me just before we set up, so what we're going to attempt to do is get little Casimir up to a decent pitch. If we can get it nice and high, we're hopefully going to show you that kind of famous peregrine stoop, that teardrop peregrine stoop. And I built it up a little bit. Maybe this is work. But with the final scene from the other three Falcons, I can't see any reason why it works. So hopefully coming in over that house, ideally what we want to do is sit in a position high behind the audience, and then hopefully that stick walking straight down and onto luckily here with the back kind of peeling away from us. There's plenty of pull out for everybody needs room to pull out. We're straight over the top of our heads at the moment. Let's see, still we can lift there, Henry. And now you're going to continue to get higher. Okay, so we'll turn around into the wind once more. See if we can push that Falcon that little bit higher.
Now I was more than pleased with how our birds flew. Excellent. Day one was always better. We had the right weather on Saturday, but to see an owl at a falconry gathering, flying, and an unusual owl at that, the wonderful vulture, which the girls here are very, very passionate about, and it's where some of that auction money is going to go. Very important topic for us here at Icarus Falconry is the state of the world's vultures. So we do support a vulture charity there. Good old Holly Kale. Wurzel, I love him. But really, yeah, it wasn't the best weather. But that Chilean Blue Eagle stooping still was up there as the top crowd pleaser for sure. And again, going back to that quick sort of team thing. Now I trained that bald eagle, I trained him my way, and crucially implementing the hood. He is by far one of the nicest bald eagles to work with, probably anywhere in the world, but certainly here in the UK. He's a special, special eagle, and I'm very proud of how I trained him and worked with him over those first few years. But again, I've flown him every Sunday for the last few months. That's not keeping him fit enough to go out over the valley soaring. Again, it's not me. Emily took up flying him maybe 3 years ago as the day job. She's the one that flies him every day and keeps him fit. I'm up there, the front man again, as I always say, but it's a full team effort. A lot more goes on than you ever see behind the scenes. Row Crow, they were the stars of the last year's gathering. They were. I don't count any political stance on Robotic Crow. When it comes to a crowd pleaser and an exciting flying display, very, very hard to top if you can fly a Row Crow at, you know, expert level and you've got those birds really well trained to them. The final stoop of the fourth bird on the Row Crow over Holdenby House, kind of directly over the audience. That was, wow, exciting for sure. And this man here, Sean, come on, last year he was hailed as the furthest travelling guest to the gathering, and we made a big thing of that, and we realised he was a gentleman the minute he opened his mouth. I think this year you will realise what an amazing man Sean Ryan actually is. Released from his wife Caroline, she let him come here. I think she'll probably come next year. Second time here, story to tell about Falconer in Canada, and when he cracks his mission there, that's going to be a YouTube video par none. We're going to really focus on his story as a would-be falconer. But for now, if you met Sean Ryan, you would know what a phenomenal guy he is. He got off a plane at Gatwick. He wouldn't tell anyone when exactly, because he didn't want to put us out, and he found his own way straight to the Falconry Centre from Newfoundland. Did I say that right this time, Sean? He got all the way here on his own when he needn't have done, really, and rolled his sleeves up, cracked on. Emily said, come out and watch the bald eagle fly. And first time for a couple of years or so, Wurzel the bald eagle buggered off. And I caught up with them. I hadn't seen Sean. I caught up with him and Emily miles away from the centre, because as you know, sometimes you track a bird on foot and then you get caught in that, do we go back to get a car or do we keep going? It's just over the next hill. We took the van, I took the van, I found them and we found the bird. And then he just got stuck in, working his ollocks off, humping the gazebos. It's not his job, we paid people to do that. He humped those gazebos in like the rest of the team. Absolute amazing man. And of course on Amazing Men, Pete Freebird. I love the fact that so many of you turned out that are absolute fans of his and listened to his talk and just made him a really happy man. Not going any further, I'll cry, but some of you know what occurred last year, so absolutely phenomenal how many of you came to meet that. Another amazing guy, and the whole place was just filled by beautiful people and wonderful people. Some really were beautiful people, you know. Me, I'm a beautiful person inside. God, hard on the eye, but there was some truly beautiful people here, absolutely fantastic. And the only one of those missing, sort of the martini level drinker, was probably the extra member of the Row Crow team, who sadly was too busy, I think, winning shooting competitions this year, bless her. So we missed her, but her gorgeous husband and his two gorgeous mates and one of their gorgeous women was here, sort of adding that absolute panache to the gathering. Most of you, in fact, on site really shown up the scruffy little Herbert that I am, the way you turned out for the gathering for sure. Not all of you, some of you were scruffier Herberts than me, but you know what I'm talking about. And of course, as I've said, we've thanked everyone at the Icarus team, but I don't know, a special thanks to the only actual 2 employees of Icarus Falconry who still do everything through love and passion. Special thanks really to Estelle and Emily, who are the key people that work with and train and fly these birds. They've had some birds to train this year, and it's been great seeing them progress. Ursul's a latecomer to the scene, and seeing her progress with the little new vulture we've had, I don't know, a year or so ago. He's really flying beautifully up in the wind now to our guests. More of that on the channel as well. But it's just great. It's a place for me now, being an old man, seeing people progress in falconry is a beautiful thing, and helping where and if I can, really. But seeing these people start from nothing and gradually craft their skill handling and working with these birds, it is a beautiful thing. It's lovely to see. You do get to an age where, I've said it before on the channel, I'd rather go out with Tommy and Kyle and watch them do well at falconry, probably now, more than fly a bird myself. I think, oh, it's a close one. I think I would. If I could only fly my bird and see that fly, or I could only go out with Kyle and Tommy and see them progress as young men now in the world of falconry. Yeah, I'd choose that, to be quite honest. So beautiful all around, just gosh, brilliant. The food guys, I forgot those, the food vendors, horse, yeah, the bar, Sue. Just brilliant. So that's that. Looking forward, comment below, and I need your feedback. I'm going to put a massive shout out video about this, but looking forward, if there's a 3.0, the little caveat to the crowds coming in earlier. There was exactly the same amount of people turned out this weekend as last year. It went brilliantly. The traders took so much more money. They did well because you supported their amazing products, handcrafted stuff. You knew you were looking at quality. You got some bargains and you spent your money. Thank you. Important. But footfall, no more people at all. None whatsoever. So tell me, in the UK, have I got a capped audience for this kind of thing, which I kind of find sad. I absolutely expected 50% more this year. Absolutely, you've been raving about it. It's been so positive. No more people. Comment below, please, because I will put it out again, but how can we achieve more? I've been told by some key people in this whole community, if you had on-site camping on Saturday night, you'd get more people. Well, if Mr. and Mrs. Lowther agreed to have you in their garden, I never wanted it because I know the trouble it can cause for them and then for me. If they allow it and we do a camping on a Saturday night, then we do it properly. We have a bar, we have food, and we have a band on late into the night, not too late, midnight or something. We do it properly. We have a proper party night. You can come and camp, make a weekend of it. That will cause me massive hassle. It will cause me a reasonable hike in the cost of putting this on. That means I've got to look for more sponsorship. I don't want to put the prices up on anything. That's the whole point, you know, is to keep this as cost efficient as possible so people enjoy it. It's a gathering. It's not a money making exercise. So, but it has to make its costs and such. That will need more sponsorship, which I think we can get. Would a party night, a camping opportunity though, would it actually make it? Listen, if 40 more people come, that's no difference to me. Am I going to get another 200 people over the weekend at least if we let you guys camp and have a party on Saturday night? Because that's going to cause a lot of grief. It's going to cause a lot of expense. It could cause way too much grief, but is it worth it? Comment below. If not, how do I get more people here? Because you've pushed it across the whole falconry community. Everyone knew about it. Everyone raved about it. It lived up to expectations, but no more people came. And that was my only disappointment. Other quirks, I had a couple of people whinging to each other. Thank God my son overheard them and spoke to them. Come and tell us, if you've got a gripe, comment below. What can we do better? What was your gripe? Don't whinge to each other. Find me. There's dozens of Icarus Falconry people wearing lanyards. Go and tell them, but comment below what could be better. I don't want nitpicking, but what would make a difference? So, for example, a few blokes, oh, I didn't expect to come here have a beer and then queue for a freaking piss. Yeah, but none of you knew because you didn't gripe to anyone. You're queuing there, and there's 2 more toilets right next door. You didn't know they were there. They're a bit camouflaged. That's fair. But if you'd have griped to one of the team, your queue would have been halved instantly. So we'll take that on board. We will have more toilets. But what I mean is, little things, no issue. A couple of thefts which ruined the auction, especially on the Sunday. The whole point of an auction is you have all the stuff out. The traders were so generous giving more stuff to the auction. You have all the stuff out and people can, you know, I'm fancy that, I'm going to bid on that later. They can look at the stuff, try stuff on. Great, there's such a great selection of stuff for the auction. We had a couple of thefts on Saturday, which then meant we couldn't put anything out in the auction because where it was, I hadn't got anyone to keep an eye on it and people would have nicked stuff. I mean, what the hell? There you go. 1% of the people here, 0.5%, 1/4%, again, ruin it for everybody. That's not what the gathering's about. We don't want you here. We don't want you here. You're a-holes. But that impacted the auction. The auction then got rushed out. It was raining, which didn't, we were undercover, but things like Carol Ann, Sean Ryan's other half, gave us some, this woman's a well-known artist in Canada, a wildlife nature artist. So many people, myself included, Carol Ann donated some really quality stuff to our auctions. A little bit disappointing. It's a charity auction and she donated them for charity, like all of the traders and other people. Lots of people brought stuff in for the auctions. Saturday was okay, but on Sunday it was a little bit rushed out. We'd had a couple of tiny thefts on site, which meant we couldn't display the auction material all day for people to see and try on and admire for various reasons. More organised next year, of course, learn from your mistakes, but we couldn't have it on show. It did start pouring rain. We were undercover, but of course, there was a lot of rushing around to get it and get all the stuff out that had been hidden all day. Stuff went too cheap. There was a lot of money spent at the gathering on the trade stalls, but there wasn't a lot of high-level bidding this year. So I started stuff, everything off at like £1 or rock bottom. It was just for charity, it's donated for charity, and we want you guys to get involved. Some of the stuff bidded up well, a lot of the stuff just didn't. Martin Holly said books, I practically gave them away and I really wish I hadn't. And again, Carol Ann's artwork. This is leading photography art. We all have our tastes and things, but the sad thing is when it did get bidded on, like everything else, some of the stuff was given away, and that's not the point of a charity auction. So I think next year I'll have to work on the auction a lot more planning up front, so that we didn't want reserves, but so there's reserves. I'd rather keep stuff like artwork that's that good. So, by the way, my favourite bit there, the patch frocks, went to a good friend, and that was a good bit of bidding actually, so that was great. But I think there has to be, if people are donating such quality stuff for a charity auction, I think some of it then needs to be that reserve price, because at the end of the day, it's for good causes, and it would be better for me to sell it separately, or to even sell it and not auction it, not have an auction and have a table of gifted stuff to sell for the charities with a price tag on. So a tiny little bit of disappointment. We're not going to say it's a disappointment. I've learnt for next year. So we've learnt lots. We've learnt lots. Well, it's only the second gathering, for goodness sakes. And again, it went so well, but we've learnt so much. So I want to wrap up the video by saying, firstly, if your picture isn't on here, especially my volunteer team, it's because I just haven't got any. I didn't get any pictures. I've snaffled a couple off the internet and so on. I really wanted to enlist a photo gallery just of all the Icarus Falconry team at the end. I will miss someone out. I'm not going to do it, and you're not all on the video, and that already annoys me. My own problem. Oh, pheasant. My own fault. But a massive thanks again to the team. Massive thanks to everyone that brought stuff for the auctions. Some amazing stories. Again, for someone to put a load of stuff into the auction that was already a sponsor of the gathering, that already paid to come into the gathering, and then said to me, do you know any kids coming up that are really, really sort of into it? You know, they're proper, they're doing it right, and I've got a full working set of telemetry. I want to gift a young person that's doing it right coming up through Falconry. Musa, you're a very lucky young man, but I know you know that. So, wow, you know, the kindness and the positivity and the generosity, it's so far received from what we see a lot on the internet in Falconry. It was just brilliant. So thank you to one and all, but my team at Icarus, or the team at Icarus especially.
For a child. Especially
A good time.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. It'll go like smaller and like there's less teeth, less fat.
oh, cheers, bud.
Hello.
Alright. The best thing I can tell you to do, mate, is if you give me a ring on YouTube, you've got it in front of you, and we'll run through a few different things. There's a lot of phone settings that need to be right.
If I was on me, only Beatles.
We used to have corn snakes.
Well, these are European species.
Oh, send it to me.
There's no way. I said,
The dream bags, go for the dream bags, Jackie.
I normally buy off somebody that's like in bulk, because I don't use them.
Just look at the same. And you see the box. They're all the same. Very similar.
Comment below. This is really, really important. If you've made it all the way to the end of this video, this is what I want you to do. If you came to the gathering, comment below. Just comment your name if you like. Just want to see. Comment below. But really, really importantly, if you have a good idea of how we can increase the footfall, if there's ever a gathering 3.0, wink wink, comment below. I don't mean how can we get 20 more people through the gates? If you can think of a way, such as the idea of a camping party night on Saturday, if you can think of a substantial way we can increase the footfall of people at the gathering, comment below. Some of the stuff I'll say is just not possible due to where it is or how it is, but all of the comments will be received and thought about. So guys, help me out here. Thanks for watching, and above all else, thanks for coming and the positivity around the Falconer gathering. It's already more than just a falconry show. Love you guys.